Vision Network.
One of the core values of Arnergy that I see that you guys are is blazing the trail. How has that been coming along?
Yeah, so blazing the trail, honestly, as more or less the first indigenous company in the solar business, we're the first to make it possible, indigenous now, for people to do surveillance, for people to monitor consumption, monitor performance, and for upfront fault management. Before now, you only find those in imported products. Yeah, and another thing that we're doing differently is in our service, our after-sales service. If you check most of the people, most of the companies that are into solar home systems, not many have the kind of multiple layers of after-sales service that Arnegy has. Today, we have the customer experience team, ensuring that our customers are happy. We also have the field team that will visit customers and ensure that your systems are working optimally. Where there are, they would also do routine maintenance, ensure that your systems are, working perfectly. So we have multiple layers of after-sales customer service that our peers do not have. A lot of them, they are scared by the possible scale of concerns. And you know what? The energy, the grid is a major challenge in solar, deployments, because you have cases where high voltage, low voltage, all of those kind of. So a lot of our competitors would rather just sell their equipment and turn their back. But we don't only sell our product to customers, we stand by them with multiple layers of support to ensure that they get maximum value for their products.
Welcome you to this new ride, a digital ride that takes you into the lifestyle experience of innovation, tech impact, and new business frontiers. This is DG Vision Network. On a weekly basis, we keep you well informed of developments and trends. Now the tech ecosystem is impacting politics, business, public and private enterprise management, plus how the new digital life can transform your business. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us.
So Arnegy is a clean tech organization, like you mentioned. So Arnegy has been around for about 9 years plus.
9 years.
Yeah. So Arnegy provides clean and sustainable energy through solar power, actually. We have several models, and that way you are able to plug into whichever one suits your use case. So Arnegy serves various sectors. You have the solar home systems, which basically serves the residential customers. Yeah, you have those high capacity that are applicable for commercial and enterprise customers. And we also deploy solar solutions to even telecom, the telecom sector. So beyond sales of equipment, we also provide support services, after sales services to our customers. So what we do basically is we ensure that we start off with the proper, the best of quality in terms of components. So we are responsible for the engineering of solar solution. We get our supplies designed by us, get our supplies from outside the country, and then assemble that and sell here locally in Nigeria. And after sales, like I said, ensure that we support our customers from day one. We have systems that do surveillance, where we are able to manage faults, we are able to manage events and performance of our systems as deployed to the customer. So and we even provide flexible payment plans Yeah, such that regardless of your purchasing power, you are able to find one of the models that suits your, your disposable income that you can afford. So that's basically how our energy has been, supporting the energy transition. And that's our core business here.
Now, in Nigeria and Africa as a whole,
Okay.
one of the main issues that this continent has been struggling with is energy.
That's
And
correct.
with an option of the kind of energy supply, how much do you think this particular option of energy is sustainable in the Nigeria economic ecosystem?
Yeah, so solar today is even more, is a no-brainer, judging by the recent realities, the, removal of fuel subsidy, and the constant, increase in the tariff from the national grid. So if you plug in your numbers, you can tell that even commercially, when you look at the financial side of things, it's cheaper for you to transit, to adopt solar. If you plug in the numbers, whatever investment you put in today, in as early as 2 years, depending on your current source of energy. So if you're currently using diesel, for instance,
Okay.
I mean, if you have a high capacity generating set, you will have saved the cost of investing in solar. You would have made a savings that equal to that investment in as short as 2 years.
Wow.
And solar solution today, particularly the type of solution that we deploy, will last you up till from 8 years to 10 years. So you can imagine an investment that has a life of 8 years, 10 years, and you already paid for the cost of the capex in 2 years. So the extra 8 years is just free value, if you like. So but then that initial cost, I must say, is not what everybody is able to afford. But for those that have the disposable income, honestly, if you switch today to solar, it's cheaper. Those that have the power, they don't even drag it. They don't even talk for long. They just switch because they know it's cheaper for them.
We all know technology evolves.
Yeah.
From time to time, from year to year, from century to century. How sustainable are your technologies if new ones come in before the end of the 8-year period of investment?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. So if you look at the trends today, I can tell you that for a long time, I don't see any other source of energy pushing solar out of the market. Talk about hydrogen, largely still in development, and in fact, some of the results coming in is already negative in terms of our sustainability and all. So look at, gas is like what is trending right now, but Nigeria today, we don't have that infrastructure to effectively distribute gas to every home, But if you look at for solar is readily available, it's there for you to tap into, to plug into. So I honestly don't see any threat. I think in a long time to come, solar will still be relevant and will still be able to compete with a lot of the other alternatives. While cost is increasing in almost all the other alternatives, in the case of solar, the prices are crashing, and the data is there. So I think solar is actually here to stay. It will be around for a long time.
Now let's move to smart cities.
Okay.
Now, smart cities, we all know there's a need for optional or alternative energy sources, which so many countries that are looking at smart cities are actually delving down to find reliable and sustainable energy options. How does Arnergy services fit into energy supply for smart cities? The IoT, the services, the evolution, does it come together, or you are still trying to align it?
Yeah, it comes together perfectly because today, if you look at our own offering as Arnegy, our offering comes with is an IoT system.
Okay.
It has a controller that has an IoT device in it. So you could monitor usage, you could program as many depending on your use case. There's a lot you can do in terms of intelligence. So for smart cities, solar will still be very, very relevant. It's just a matter of integrating your whatever sensors you have, whatever controllers you have, integrating it to our own, controller,
Okay.
and there you go. Everything you want to monitor, all the signaling that you require, you can do, and all the communication, data transmission across the internet. It's possible. Today, our own solution is IoT based.
The policies in African countries will affect Africa achieving it along with the rest of the world by the 2050 aim.
Well, honestly speaking, I know Africa is like the least contributor in the world. What we emit today is so negligible as compared to what the developed world emits. But having said that, but I don't see much regulatory, action. I don't see so much being done by our leaders, at improving carbon emission. Honestly, besides what the private sector is doing on their own, I don't see so much in terms of awareness, in terms of policy in support of net zero. But I know that the private sector, the much we are doing, will significantly help to drive down cost. It's just that most of the time, the solutions that will help us achieve this are not very cheap. So the reach, the number of the volume of people, soldiers, more or less, net zero soldiers out there is still very few. But I am optimistic that Africa's economy will get better and more people will be able to plug into those initiatives that at the end of the day helps us to go close to net zero.
What do you think will happen if Nigeria as a country decided to go 80 on alternative energy and 20 on the traditional energy?
80-20. 80-20 is very, I think is it's a big dream for me. Don't forget that the traditional means of generating power, to a large extent, is still the cheapest. Yeah, I mean, you imagine a thermal station somewhere, generating several megawatts of electricity and distributing. So it's the way it is. That economies of scale favors traditional power generation. So it will still remain cheap, for a long time. And unfortunately, in this part of the world, poverty level is very high. So it's very difficult to have that balance. We can't be talking about 80-20 when all the odds are against you. So I know that it's possible, but it's not something we can achieve very, very fast. But I mean, they say the best time to plant a tree was 15 years ago. The next best time is now. So even if it's difficult, but not impossible.
Innovation and lifestyle. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. www.youtube.com/Digivation Network.